Now we're going to scale a Kubernetes environment. First, we're going to log into the Datera using our Kubernetes user via an LDAP server. This is the tenant dashboard for the Kubernetes environment. So now we're going to show what we have created here. We have a stateful set running in a standard Kubernetes deployment. The stateful set has been deployed 5 times. It's currently running. It's generating I/O. You can see we're doing about 35,000 IOPS. We have 4 persistent volume claims, and we have 7 persistent volumes. You can see these were all provisioned under the Gold class. That is configured to use Datera storage, external storage from Datera. So now we're going to scale the Kubernetes environment using this number of replicas. What this will do is trigger the action for a new persistent volume claim to be created, which will trigger the creation of a new persistent volume. Once those have been completed, Kubernetes will then schedule the container to start. And you can already see that the number of provisioned instances has increased to 8. You can see that we now have number 5 running. You'll see that we now have a 6th volume claim. We now have a corresponding persistent volume, and the container is creating. If I refresh this again, you can see that 6 is done and 7 is in the process of coming up. So we started with 5 running pods. We asked Kubernetes to scale that to 10 running stateful sets. There's 1 volume per stateful set. So when this completes, we expect to see a total of 12 provisioned instances and 10 running Kubernetes pods. We can review the performance, and you can see that we're currently at 50,000 IOPS. So all the pods are running. The Datera user interface has been refreshed. You can see our performance. As we mentioned, the storage class is called Gold. That relates to the Datera Gold template. So we can see our provisioned instances along the side. If we examine the policy set, you can see that the policy was set for a 50 gig volume with 2 copy, using 5,000 IOPS, using the Gold placement policy. If we examine one of our instances, we can see that we created a 20 gigabyte volume. We call this template override, where the ecosystem influenced the creation of this given template to use the ecosystem value, still 2 copies, 5,000 IOPS, and the Gold policy. Anything that we set from a policy perspective will always be in use by the policy within the tenant. And that's how we scale a Kubernetes environment.
Learn more about how Datera brings the software-defined revolution to enterprise storage at datera.io and contact Datera for a free consultation.